The Retail Podcast, a global conversation hosted by Alex Rezvan-Bienet.
Hello and welcome to the first soundbite episode from the Retail Podcast. Today's episode, we're going to spend 5 minutes looking at, in my opinion, why experiential retail is not what retailers need in its true form and potentially is dead even before it's got out the gate. However, I need to caveat that experiential retail or experience economy, in the sense of the way that Joseph Pine and James Gilmore introduced it to the world in 1998, which covers things such as concerts, holidays, eating out. So in this vertical, I would 100% agree, the experience economy is growing. However, the relationship between purchasing things and consumption of goods is different to the way that we consume experiences. And this is when retailers get a little bit stuck when they try to introduce experience into the retail flow or the path to purchase, and unfortunately how that actually is a friction-full way of doing, in my opinion, retail. In terms of breaking down the experience economy and specifically looking at what that means based on Joseph Pine and James Gilmore's analogy, they use the analogy of baking a cake. The agrarian economy was about the raw materials being extracted, so the flour, the sugar, the starch. The industrial economy was about the mix, how all of these things were able to be put together for the first time. And then the services economy wasn't as much about the product, but was looking at how you consume the product. So staging the environment for you to consume the product. So, for example, a birthday party event where cake is a part of that. And obviously there are great examples of retailers or organizations doing that today. So Starbucks, they stage the environment for you to consume coffee, whether that's digital or physical. Uber staged the environment for you to get a ride from point A to B. And the actual ride isn't the experience, it's everything that's around. So companies understand that they use services as the stage and the goods are the props, creating the experience. But the key thing to take into account in today's world, in today's economy, the fact that we're all suffering from decision fatigue. And decision fatigue is something that I'll cover off in another episode, another soundbite, where we look at how organizations like Aldi and Lidl are absolutely using decision fatigue and how the fact that we're suffering from this to their benefits and why they're having great success. A great example of the experience economy, and in my mind, why experiential retail is not the way that we are thinking of it today, is when you have a look at show fields. And recently I was fortunate enough to go to New York, to NRF, and visit show fields, which is dubbed by themselves the most interesting store in the world. And in a world where millennials control 1 trillion in terms of economic power, and they are hungry to consume services, not product, according to research from the World Economic Forum, you understand why show fields on paper is absolutely the way that retail needs to go, or department stores need to go. But when you lift the hood up and you look at the core retail that's happening, and let's just be clear, retail is about the consumption or consuming a product. That means there is a specific path to purchase. That also means that there is a mission that you are on. So when you leave your house and you're going shopping, as some people may do, you may go online to do that as well, but we still are human beings. There is still humanistic design elements that we look for. So that means we like to go out, we like to be a part of something, we like to get involved. And the new trends that are coming in, or the new, for example, DNHB, which is the digital native horizontal brands, or D2C, direct-to-consumer brands, or digital-first and social-first brands. These organizations or types of organizations absolutely understand that our humanistic need to interact and to potentially, when we're looking to consume in a way that is meaningful to us, is important. But why is experiential retail not the way to do this? Because it interrupts the path to purchase. It isn't a component of the path to purchase. It isn't a component of the shopping mission. And if it is, then I stand corrected. Experiential retail is absolutely the way. But when you look at the flagship stores down Fifth Avenue and you look at the little coffee counter that they've introduced, or you look at the customization service desk at the back, and Nordstrom is also doing this, they're empty. There was no one there. And I've seen this time and time again. Tommy Hilfiger in Regent Street, when I went there, and they have the customization desk, there was no one there. And so there are these experiential components that have been introduced into the shopping experience or into the path to purchase with absolutely no regard for the main purpose of what that store is there to do, which is to help us make decisions in purchasing something. So when we look to 5 to 10 years from now on what retailers need to do, they need to reinvent the path to purchase to include technologies that potentially start that customer journey from the home. And so therefore the home becomes an extension of the store. They need to power the shopping missions that transcend the legacy retail experience. And by transcending the retail experience, I mean currently you go into a store, you can't find the product that you need, you can't find the size that you need, and getting help or getting technology to help you is incredibly frictionful. So that's not the experience either. It needs to be nurturing the humanistic needs, and it needs to be built on humanistic design. So we've just gone over 5 minutes, and I hope that I've given you some food for thought. Obviously, if you'd like to start a conversation, please feel free to leave a like or subscribe, whatever method you're using to consume this podcast. Until next time, I hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to speaking to you very soon.